Hey, what's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you on this Monday after the NFL draft. A fresh week here to start looking ahead to the season to come. And what the latest is now that the draft is over. My name is NorbCam. NorbCam, thanks for watching. For those of you who are new, I'd love it if you'd hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. But this was an interesting weekend for me because I was kind of disconnected from the draft. I was able to watch the first day, which, of course, we didn't do anything on the first day, but I did get to connect with some of the guys who helped run my Discord server, and so that was a lot of fun to have a little in-person get-together. So when it came to the actual draft itself, where the Seahawks were actually doing stuff, I was on the road with my daughter's volleyball tournament, so I really didn't get to see any of the draft picks as they happened, which was really strange for me to miss out on the excitement and tension of it. So I had to just kind of read up on it as it was happening after the fact. So I'll get my initial thoughts on that in just a minute, but I did want to just jump in here with a little bit of the more late-breaking stuff, and that is what's on the title there, that the Seahawks have declined the fifth-year option for running back Rashaad Penny. Now, if you know whenever it happens with the fifth-year option, when they draft a player, they have the option before their fifth year to already sign and pick up that offer, meaning they are looking into a longer-term situation with them, which guarantees a certain amount of salary for that year. The Seahawks decline that. What that means is what would have been the Rashaad Penny's salary in 2022, had they picked up that fifth-year option, he would have been guaranteed $4.5 million in 2022, and likely, the longer-term chances of him being with the Seahawks are increased at that point. They didn't, because of course he has not been healthy for most of his career with the Seahawks. He only played 27 games in the 3 seasons. He was with the Seahawks, had that unfortunate 2019 ACL injury just when he was starting to get rolling. I believe it was against the Los Angeles Rams, and that took him out for the entire rest of the year. And then he only ended up playing 3 games in 2020 as he was recovering from that knee injury. So unfortunately, injuries got the best of him. So no surprise there that the Seahawks would not pick up that option, just because of the fact they don't know really what they've got, and secondly, they don't know how healthy he's going to be, especially going into this upcoming season. Now with Chris Carson having signed that new deal, 2-year deal, clearly we know who the main thoroughbred in that backfield is going to be. So Rashaad Penny has not been terrible during the time that he's been able to play. He actually has a pretty decent per carry average, 161 carries for 823 yards, which is a 5.1 average, which is actually pretty good. Anytime you're above 4 and above 5 is a good productivity. It's just the health issue. Does that mean he won't be a Seahawk for the Seahawks in the future? Well, that's not a certain, just because they didn't sign his fifth-year option doesn't mean that he couldn't possibly still end up with the Seahawks. If he has a good year next year or this year coming up, it's very possible that, he'll obviously be playing for a future contract with some team. He's going to want to have a good year so that another team might pick him up. Or if another team does not pick him up, the Seahawks could still do a deal with him and sign him for the immediate future if they find that the tandem of Chris Carson and Rashaad Penny works out. So it's all just a matter of how he does and how healthy he can stay in 2021. So this will be a big season for him regardless, and see what kind of future he might have with the Seahawks or another team moving forward. But for now, no pickup of his fifth-year option, so he's sort of in pre-free agency mode, trying to put together a good year on tape for either the Seahawks or another team moving forward. So we'll see what happens there. But you'll be motivated, which is a good thing. So hopefully that'll just make him want to really, get out there, be productive, and make this new offense that we're going to be seeing under Shane Waldron lit up with 2 running backs, hopefully, who can stay healthy this year. All right, switching gears, Amazon, a big announcement from Amazon Prime Video. They've agreed to a 11-year deal, kind of a weird number, not 10, not 11, not 12. Not 10, not 12, it's 11. 11-year deal to be the exclusive provider of Thursday Night Football. So if you want to watch Thursday night football games, you're going to have an Amazon Prime network or Prime account to do so. Now, most people have it these days. I know I do. I've had it for a while now, and it comes with the Amazon Prime subscription. But you won't be able to watch it on TV. The only way you can watch it on TV is if you have Amazon Prime on your TV and you watch it there. It's as of right now, if you want to have Amazon access to those games, you have to either pay $8.99 a month just to get the video service, or if you have Amazon Prime, that costs you $12.99 per month or $119 a year. It's a great deal because, man, I love that next day, 2-day free shipping. I use it all the time. So pretty soon we're going to start seeing a bunch of drones flying in, bringing in your packages, invading neighborhoods, dropping off packages at your house. So that's going to be fun to see. And it'll be fun to see the crash videos when it starts happening as well. But for right now, Amazon, only way you're going to watch those Thursday night games. And if you want to see the Seahawks in their lime green Grinch outfits, it's going to have to do it on Amazon Prime. Okay, so I want to just quickly talk a little bit about the draft. I didn't talk about it at all this weekend. But preface this by saying I'm going to do a lot more diving in with guys who know a lot more about this, particularly Coach Marsh on Coach's Corner tomorrow, and then with the roundtable guys on Wednesday. So we're going to get into it much deeper, but I just want to give some initial reactions on the draft. My first thought is I was completely wrong, as usual, and I think a lot of us were. We all assumed that John Schneider was not going to pick in the second round and that he was going to trade back. It was like, oh, well, of course the Seahawks are going to trade back. They always trade back. Well, what do? They surprise us again, and they actually pick at the second round. Doesn't mean they weren't trying to trade back. Rumor has it that maybe they were trying to, but nobody would trade with them because whatever, they just wasn't a partner to be found. So we pick up in the second round of the draft, number 56 overall, wide receiver Dwayne Escridge. I did record my reaction to that, actually, of that first pick on Friday because it was right before I left. So I did catch that one. I was wrong about what I said. I did catch the first draft pick of the Seahawks, which was on the second round. I did react to that. And I was shocked. I mean, I really didn't know a whole lot about who was up there, but I know there was a few names that were being thrown around that people really wanted to see picked. And this guy was not one of them, I don't think. But, this guy's quick, 4.38 in the 40. But he's not a big dude. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. I mean, he's smaller than me. He's lighter than me, but he's a heck of a lot faster than me. But as he says about himself, he's aggressive, explosive, dynamic, can do multiple things on the offensive and defensive side. And I also can go and perform well on special teams. So I just bring a whole other juice. I do like that all-around aspect because we already know who our number one and number two receivers are interchangeably, Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf. But that third receiver was kind of that swing one. And I like the idea that, potentially, although they said they weren't going to committing to the idea that he would be returning kicks per se, but there is that potential that he could play in that position. I do like the speed. He looks really fast. Of course, everybody on their highlight tapes all look good, right? If you just judge everybody by their highlight tapes, everybody would look like the greatest player that ever played in the world. But he is pretty quick. And will he be quick against NFL-level secondaries and corners and safeties? That is yet to be seen. However, he does seem to be a versatile guy. So we did need a receiver, so I just didn't think we would pick that early. I thought maybe we'd go offensive line or corner first, so as usual, I was wrong about that as well. But now that we have him, I'm excited to see what they do with him, especially in this system where we're going to need a lot of receivers on quick timing routes under Shane Waldron. So this could be a bigger benefit to the Seahawks than most people might expect. All right, so then we go into the round 4. I did not react to this. I had to read about it after the fact, but at number 137, Seahawks selected cornerback Trey Brown from Oklahoma. I liked the fact that we did, again, address the positions of need, and this was one of them. This was kind of like my first one that I thought they would address. Again, the surprising part of it was just the size. Typically, Seattle goes for longer armed, taller cornerbacks, a la Richard Sherman, the 6 foot plus with long wingspan. This guy's not that. He's, again, another short guy, 5'10". I'm taller than this guy. 185 pounds. I'm heavier than this guy, too. But again, pretty quick, 4.4 40-yard dash, which, of course, doesn't mean anything per se because it's all about quickness, reading, reacting, and turning, and things like that. No one ever just runs straight in football, so that line could be a little deceiving. However, it's pretty quick, though. And as he describes himself, you're getting a physical guy you're getting an intelligent guy, fast guy out there on the field, a guy who's scrappy, a guy who goes out there and it doesn't matter what size you are, how big you are, I'm going to compete regardless. Size never meant anything to me. You're getting a guy with a great scrappy mentality. We love scrappy. I think what's funny is that anytime somebody says size doesn't matter, it's usually somebody who's small who says it. right? Because it seems like smaller people always have to seem to justify the fact that they aren't tall to argue that fact. However, if that's a chip on the shoulder, then so be it. Again, it just goes against the typical size thing. But as Pete Carroll did talk about, he said that having last year with what's his name, number 29. I'm blanking. This always happens to me. I have these spaced out moments. It must be my age or something. You know what I'm saying? The guy who got from the 49ers. Somebody help me out there in the chat. Why am I spacing? This guy was great. He's also little, if you know what I'm talking about. Reed. Thank you. DJ Reed. He kind of said that opened his eyes to a possibility that you don't need to have these big, huge, tall guys with long wingspans to get this done. And this guy is versatile. He can do a lot of different things out there, not just a cornerback. He could be versatile on other sides. So we'll see. Again, so much of this is of the wait and see aspect. But then they went to the 6th round. They actually traded up to get this guy. And this was number 208 overall. Offensive tackle with one of the coolest names, Stone Forsythe. Sounds like some kind of, investigator, TV show character or something. Stone Forsythe. Offensive tackle. This dude is, we were just talking about how the first two guys were really small. This dude is huge, 6'8", 307 pounds. And so I think they just made up for the fact that, we got two really small guys. We better get a really big guy here. But, again, address the position of need. We talked about it. I said, the 3 spots we needed were offensive line. Well, I said corner, offensive line, and secondary. Well, they went, cornerback, line, receiver. They went receiver, corner, line. So they did address the 3 spots that seem to have the most needs. This is a left tackle, so potentially they're drafting here for could be now, but also for the future when Dwayne Brown eventually is inching closer to retirement. This guy could be the one to take over for him. Word is that he is really good on pass protection. I think he only gave up 2 sacks in a bunch of dropbacks down in Florida. But running game maybe is not his forte. So what you do want out of your left tackle, you do want a guy who can pass protect, number 1. But you do want a guy who can also run the ball, especially in a team and an offense that is going to be geared up to run the ball. So we'll see how that goes. I just remember Jermaine Ifedi I think it was the opposite. He was the kind of guy, he had big size, strong as heck, but he had bad footwork, so he gave up a lot on pass protection, but I think he was decent on the running game. This, I think, is the opposite. Really good feet, because if you can pass protect, you have to have good footwork. But what does that mean for the running game? We'll see. I feel like that's something they can work on. I think it's easier to fix run blocking than it is to fix a pass blocking issue, because that thing, I think, requires a lot more skill, a lot more of a challenge to rectify if you don't have that going on for you. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm looking forward to hearing the roundtable and the coach's corner breakdowns of the draft and really see what the guys' takes are on it. So kind of just surprised that we didn't turn this into more numbers. But then there's the whole, I'm not getting into it here, but unrestricted free agents. They picked up a bunch. Receivers, corners, a running back, a linebacker. Again, who knows if these guys will amount to something, but, you always got to hold on to that. Hey, we did get Doug Baldwin, so you never know. All right, I got to run because I'm going to head out and join my buddies for a movie. So you guys enjoy your rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys all later. Go Hawks. Madden later tonight. Bye.